Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project, and today we're doing our post-election special, and we're going to be asking, what did Kamala Harris do wrong? Also, what did Donald Trump do right? Also, Black conservatives versus Black progressives and those that are in the middle. Plus, we got the man himself, Marlo, the king of barbers in the building.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah. And plus we got the Reverend Earl Fisher that's going to be here also. So don't go anywhere. Stick around, hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for that. We're all suffering from post-election hangover. So speaking of hungover, give it up for my lovely, lovely co-host Angelika Geli Woods in the building.
Whatever. I'm not the hangover, but I do feel like I'm doing the walk of shame today. I promise.
Oh man, yeah, man. It's interesting night. But before we get into it, y'all give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ, DJ Kojak in the building. Yeah. Scratch it up 4 and 4 times, DJ Kojak.
Bam for the celebrity barber. That cut right there. That's what that's for.
Right. Hey, yeah. And I thought I heard Marlo hit them horns, man.
I heard him over there.
Yeah. Give it up for Marlo, the celebrity barber in the building.
Thank you.
Man, thank you for being here, man. We truly appreciate you, man. You finally made it to the show. Man, finally made it to the show, man. Man, we appreciate you being here. And so, look, man, it's a lot going on, man. And I was serious, Kojak, when I said that, a lot of us are suffering from election hangover. Man. Right? Because it's a lot that has been going on. We all been getting bombarded, with this election shit. And I ain't going to lie. I was honestly glad to see that this election cycle was ending. Yeah.
It didn't end the way I thought it would end, man. I ain't gonna lie, I felt some kind of way, man.
Yeah. But I had election fatigue. Not only running my own election and having an election that I'm dealing with. Oh, thank you for that, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Well, thank you for that. But let me look into this camera and tell my supporters and the people that voted for me as their state representative. From the bottom of my heart, truly appreciate you, and I take it very, very seriously that y'all have saw fit to re-elect me as your state representative, and I will work my ass off. Better believe that.
One toast for the host.
Yeah, one toast for the host. There you go. Yeah. All right. So it was a lot, right? It was a lot to deal with. It was a lot going on, man. And so
we gonna dive deep in the psychological problems that ails us when it comes to political voting.
Oh yeah, that's we definitely got to jump in there.
You ready to jump off that, boy?
Well, we're going to start with this.
Okay.
I see the good Reverend done walked in, man. Look at him, y'all. Good Reverend Earl Dr. Fisher. Yeah.
Moving like Jesus.
He's
not there when you want him, but he always on time.
Always on time, but a little late for the podcast. But always on time, right?
On his time.
Right. Yeah. That's my guy, though, man. Hey, look, we'll talk about him when we get him on. But we're gonna talk about him while he ain't on too. We'll talk about him.
He can't defend himself. Then.
Right. He can't defend himself and shit. He probably gonna try to jump in here and use some words we don't even know what the hell they are anyway. Right. He don't be knowing what they are, but it sounds good.
Real good.
It sounds real good. But man, we got these results. Of course, about 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up again and saw that they had declared former President Donald Trump the winner in this year's election. So he is now the president-elect.
He is now the president-elect.
He is now the president-elect. So let me ask you this question, man, as we jump in there. First of all, how does it make you feel that President Trump former President Trump is now the president-elect again?
I'm gonna tell you how it makes me feel. I am non-emotional about my politics. You have the right to exercise your vote. I'm not upset at anybody that exercise their vote the way they want to. We have a problem when we feel like you can't have a voice that's different than mine. Now, I'm not emotionally involved in the problems of it because I voted for God before he ran.
Oh, you did?
So
wait a minute. Hold on.
I voted for God. I voted for God.
What you do? Write him in?
So what that
Did you write God in? Was it write in? Hold on.
I hear so many people, and I have a problem with these Christians.
I have a problem with the Christians. What's the problem with the Christians?
They are the most worried. Oh, what we gonna do? I mean, hold on there. If you are a true believer, that means no matter who in office, God gonna make sure you straight.
Right, but so let's talk about that.
God gonna make sure you straight no matter who in office.
But let's talk about that. So, interestingly enough, of course, Donald Trump carried the majority of white evangelical voters, right? They voted for him, even with the fact that he paid a porn star hush money to keep quiet about his affair on his wife, even though he
grabbed him by the pussy, even though
not the P word,
even though he suggested that they put Liz Cheney, in front of a firing squad and kill her. Right. Even though, he was calling Kamala Harris bitches and all of this stuff. Even though, he said that Puerto Ricans were, that the island were degenerates. And even though he is a 34-time convicted felon, he carried evangelicals. But the flip side,
let me tell you.
Go ahead. Okay, but hold that thought, because let me give it all to you. But the flip side is, Vice President Kamala Harris, she did and it was highly supportive of the LGBTQ lifestyle, right? Which is, a lot of Christians are against that lifestyle on the other side. So you have to ask yourself, where do the Christians go? You said you voted for God, but a lot of people didn't see God on their ballot.
They didn't but the fear that I see online bothers me. I'm like, y'all so scared. Like, what Donald finna come to slap everybody individually? What's y'all so scared about? Anything that happens, we've always conquered. We've been through so much as a people. You fear Donald Trump? Now, my thing about it is, he didn't say nothing that I didn't expect average older white America to disagree with.
Right.
He only spoke the language that they're afraid to say.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Right.
So when he said
he was saying what they were thinking anyway.
I was never surprised.
He gave them courage.
I was never surprised about anything he said.
Right.
Because I understand the culture in which I live. So I wasn't surprised by nothing he said, and I wasn't surprised by the people who pretended to go for Miss Harris and got in that booth and switched up on us. I wasn't surprised by that at all either. Because we have a problem where we're not really truly who we are. We pretend to be something because social media done made it where if you feel this way and you feel this way and you feel this way, now I do. So we have a problem with individuality where we're just going to be whatever is comfortable. It don't have to be the truth. It just got to be said and shared. If y'all share it, I'm going to share it too because I want to be cool.
Social media, what you said, a lot of people, if they did feel a kind of way, they didn't want to vocalize it because of the backlash they may receive. From that way, because they was going in on
there's so many people
and all them for saying Trump.
There's so many people who voted for Donald Trump. That was publicly saying, "Come on, Miss Harris," got in that booth and switched on a nigga. But hey,
look, I want to say this too. To that point, I got to send a shout out to my young brother, Tupac Mosley. He said this on one of his posts today, and I said, and I liked it, and I shared it because young brother, right, college age, right, young Tupac. Tupac said, like I've heard a lot recently, we live in a post-truth society. Facts and truth do not matter.
Don't matter.
Only how people perceive it. No one wants to find and face the truth either.
Right.
Especially in social media.
Right.
To your point.
Right. Because see, I look at how we are perceived as black men to treat our women. What make you think they're gonna treat Miss Harris right when they got a woman next to them, they don't invest in.
Yeah.
They got kids by women they don't invest in. They got mothers and grandmothers we don't treat right. What make you think they gonna get in their booth and represent and hold a woman at a high standard when a lot of men are afraid for women to be on a pedestal? A lot of women are afraid to empower the woman to stay next to them because they feel like if I empower this woman, she'll even get a better man. Because in his mind, psychologically, if she better, she's gonna want a man that's better. And we have a problem with accountability. Anytime you say something that causes a person to have to get up and do something, they don't like that. If I give you something, you love me. But if I give you information that causes you have to get up and do something, you don't like that. So we have an accountability problem.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, jump in there.
Kamala, with you're a barber, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So with all the men that sit in your chair, I'm sure politics came up.
All the time it does.
Okay, did a lot of them sit there and say they were going to vote? They're going to say they're going to vote. How they're going to vote for Trump or Kamala? What was the?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of men who just cannot be under the authority of a woman.
Yeah, okay.
But they were under the authority of a woman growing up and a single woman.
Most of them.
And see, sometimes men have a problem being under the leadership of a woman. So I knew they was going to get in that booth.
And that's the truth, right?
But the chair, they said they was.
Oh, yeah. Because it's cool to be pro-black when you're in the barbershop.
Yeah.
But in that booth,
and you
go
think,
orange on us.
And you think about this too, you think about, growing up, as young black male, especially in a single parent household, when you get to a certain level, certain age, you bucking that female authority, man.
Right.
But if a man was in there, you would stay under the subjection of that man's voice,
right?
Which is really a really interesting phenomenon too, man. But let me ask you this: what do y'all think Kamala Harris did wrong?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I think she did. She tried to cater to Black America too much.
Yeah,
I disagree with that.
I think she and when I say Black America, I don't mean the high class, the regular, the 9 for the good. I think she went a little.
To our cousins.
I like Glorilla, but I don't need you up there I don't need you, Megan Thee Stallion. I don't need you up there on the campaign because there's people who are already thinking negatively of you, and they want to think negatively of you. But don't give them a reason. I have to
not to vote. Can I say this though? Even before we started the podcast, I said online. Somebody said she failed us because we didn't need a Yo Gotti bash. There was too much twerking in the campaign and all that. Somebody said that online. Not me.
It made a lot of people.
Hold on. But I
gotta take her serious.
Let me push back. Let me push back on that. Let me slightly, respectfully. Because from a marketing standpoint, I understand what she was doing.
Oh, you the same
well. Think about. Here's the thing, right?
It's a base. It's a base. You can cover all the bases.
Trump was leading in older voters. Kamala was trying to find a space where she can balance that out. This is just my perception of it. So the Megans and the Glows, they did bring younger voters, right?
I think,
and the Beyonce, and so they did. I
think black women. I think black women vote. I don't think the bad bitches voted though.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
I think black women voted.
Okay,
I don't think the bad bitches did. So she should have catered to the intelligent people, period, no matter what color they was, and we would have gravitated and said, man, represent us right. But when you got Glorilla, I don't want my president hanging out the window.
I think Beyonce probably enough. She just left that Beyonce.
But it goes to what we said earlier about these perceptions and where people are. You got to meet them where they are. But we got to play this video because this is where I think she got murked.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
I will follow the law, and it's a law that Donald Trump actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries
you know what, you got to take responsible for what happened
presidency.
in your administration.
Yeah, no surgeries happened in this presidency.
It's in black and white.
Would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassessment
I will
surgeries?
follow the law.
She Kojak'd him.
Ooh, man. But listen, let me hold on, y'all. Because I want to qualify this.
Go ahead.
This, and I know Earl biting at the bits to jump in this too, but this deal, this situation, got you, Nichelle. This situation was, to me, and I borrow a phrase from one of the news pundits, a blind spot for the Harris campaign. When whoever would have jumped on this first was going to create a win, and here's why. One, this ad was ran over 30,000 times.
Wow.
On television, at college football games, at pro games, they ran this ad 30,000 times. Then the reason why they ran this ad 30,000 times
played on the field
is because it got traction. And it got so much traction before the Harris campaign could respond
and get ahead of it.
Right. Even though the Trump administration was doing the same thing. Yeah. But it was pinned on the Harris campaign. Now let's look at who sees this ad, who responded to this ad.
Who fears that?
Black pastors responded to it in droves.
Older
people. Black folks, period. I keep telling my fellow Democrats, black people are naturally conservative people. I'm telling you, you think about, pulling up at Sunday dinner
with your grandma,
at grandma's, at Big Mama house, and you bring your little, zesty friend with you, right?
It's a problem.
These ain't zesty.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna get called out, right? They be like,
who brought six of them?
Yeah.
You walking around?
Yeah. And so, and I tell my colleagues at the Capitol, I tell them all the time, I'm talking about the Republicans. I said, man, y'all play conservative. Y'all use the word conservative as a buzzword and as a convenience.
It's a lifestyle for some people.
But in black communities and Hispanic communities too, are naturally conservative for the most part. And I think that this ad,
the tipping scale.
This ad, I mean, you now let's break it down. They said that Kamala Harris, they pinned this on Kamala Harris, even though Trump was doing it too. They said she wanted to use taxpayer dollars for trans. That's the fancy word for transgender reassignment, but sex change operations.
Right.
And for inmates, for prisoners now. And so that's the aggravating part of it to a lot of people.
Right. You get cosmetic surgery and our tax dollars.
In prison.
So he can get a
And what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about somebody getting a sex change operation in prison? What's the first thing?
They living their best life.
To a lot of people.
Money.
To a lot of people, right? And then you had, and one of the pundits on the news said this, and I think they were dead on. You have people that are saying, I'm paying X amount of dollars more in taxes on my groceries, and you got inmates getting sex change operations.
It costs me more to buy a potato because you finna cut your potato off.
Man, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Hit that subscribe button.
Grab a backwood and roll up. Grab your cup and let pour up. They didn't want us round it first, but now they act like they know what. Hey, but they show love, yeah, we show out when we show up. I don't even do the liquor, that shit might make me throw up. But we turned up, this the after party. Shit grabbing on my body. White girl got a bottle in the club, and that going all it. Turned up in a wreck the party. We just brought out everybody. No, we got our have some fun. We at the after party.
Want to see how lazy some women are? Look who they'll marry or date.
Oh, damn. You tried. That's the other show. We ain't doing it.
Women, what?
Oh, Lord. I tried to stop it, Nichelle, but I couldn't. Look.
I'm just being honest.
Can you say it again? I missed it.
I said, if you want to see just how lazy some women are, look who they will marry or date.
You want to know how a man really feel about himself? Look who he have kids by. But what you say?
Damn.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project, man. This is one of them days, right? Woo! Post-election special. And let me welcome again my wonderful co-host Angelika Geli Woods is in the building. Yep. And my DJ, DJ Kojak. We're gonna suspend with the scratch today because we want to jump right into this stuff.
Let's do it.
And our special guest, Marlo, the celebrity barber. Give it up for him. Let me jump this thing off with a impactful question. Marlo, who got your vote?
I actually voted.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Well, let me get
it's two votes.
Hold on. Let me get my truth meter.
I like Donald Trump, but I voted for Miss Harris for different reasons.
Okay.
I understand some of the tax breaks, some of the things business-wise that he can do that I can benefit on.
Right.
But the people that pay me need Miss Harris. So I can't do the things that I want to do
I was nervous
without supporting the people that support me. So I really like Donald Trump, but I understand the people that support me need Miss Harris. So I voted for Miss Harris because I know the people that support me need her.
Okay.
But this is the thing about it. We have to also understand that Donald Trump been campaigning for the job he got yesterday for 10 years. She gave him a hell of a fight in about a 6-month run. So she may not be the president this time, but if she continues, she'll be the president next time.
But can you make note that he's only won? The only time he has ever won was when he ran against a woman. Because when he ran against a man, he did not win.
Watch this. Now we got a lot of Cowboy fans in Memphis. The reason we have Cowboy fans because when the Cowboys was winning, we didn't have a state team. We didn't have a Tennessee team that represented Tennessee. So they showed us a successful team that was not far from us.
When did the Cowboys show us a success?
I'm talking about years ago.
It ain't been.
And see, that's the same.
I ain't no Cowboy fan, though. I'm the anti-Cowboy. Just like Donald Trump is the Antichrist, I'm the anti-Cowboy.
But see, guess what happened? Donald Trump was once successful before he became a politician. He had buildings. He was a billionaire. He had all these success things. He had already a following already. So he took that successful following. He's been losing politically in a while, but he has people that already liked him. So they voted him in off the success he had before he became a politician. So Ms. Harris didn't have opportunity.
But it was perceived success.
It was
bankruptcy after bankruptcy after bankruptcy. Now, he was a great con artist, but again, it goes back to Tupac Mosley. What's perceived.
What is perceived.
Right. Yeah. You know, I remember being in the music business, right? They used to tell us, man, and being in promotions and marketing and music too, right?
I look at it that way.
It was create the hype. You was a club owner. Yeah. I remember the days, right?
So I understand. That's what he did. He put the hype. He understands marketing, and he had a long time to talk to his political family. She didn't have long. She had a few months and gave him a hell of a run. So she really did damn good to have just a short amount of time as she did. And he played like the ad you just showed. She didn't agree to that, but he played it and spent it as if not only did she agree, she gonna spend y'all money like that. So he understands marketing. In today's society, it don't have to be facts. It just got to be said a lot of times.
It's about what it look like. What it look like.
Just like what
so let me give you an example. Somebody, let's say a police officer killed a young man, unfortunately, by accident, by in Wisconsin. Social media has made it where people in Memphis will be upset about something that happened so far away. There's nothing you can do about it. See, the negative energy is always transferred from social media and the way we live, but we never get together for positivity the way we do for negativity. Police officer kill a young man, we ready to march. Somebody graduate, we ain't standing up for the kids.
We don't black person, a black person kill a black person, we ain't marching.
Mathematically, I hate to. Don't hate
to say this. Antonio.
Mathematically, police really ain't our major problem. Junebug killed 15 people between Monday and Thursday.
Still walking around here too.
Police officer killed one dude. Man, what's going on? What's going on? We got 15.
Junebug got 15 bodies on it.
We ain't marched against Junebug yet.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
And that's your cousin.
Why I gotta be Junebug?
That's the thing. Your cousin.
Stereotyping like a motherfucker right here. Junebug.
we get together for negativity faster than we get together for positivity.
Well, yeah. But let me throw this in here so we can try to partially stay on topic. Right. Oh, really? Is that what we're doing? And she been doing. Look, she been doing more yapping in this segment than anybody. Right? Talking about looking at her watch.
But look, daddy timeout.
Check this out though. Hispanics voted 45%.
That's shocking.
For Trump. 45% for Trump. After he said basically they wasn't shit.
But let me tell you what happened. Because you got a Hispanic that came into America that said, I'm an American Hispanic. I ain't like to come across that border.
Man.
I don't want them coming across.
It's like a house nigga and a field nigga.
They got that same thing. They got the same mentality too.
Who was it? Lyndon B. Johnson said, show somebody, and I'm paraphrasing,
Lyndon B. Johnson. His quote is, if you want to convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for you.
You give a one white man, the poorest white man in America, the ability to see that he's higher than the black person and we can pick his pockets.
Right.
And it's the same thing, right? And I cannot wait till when we get Fisher up here because we're going to talk about this hierarchy, right?
And that's how they voted for him.
But 45%, right? That's almost half
it's just
of the Hispanic population.
Your cousins back on the boat.
It show you the power of marketing and how minds can be easily manipulated, whether it's true or not. I can make you feel a certain way.
Here's an incredible point though too, because when these mass deportations start, which they promise that they're going to do, right? Because and some of these will be their children, some of them will be one parent or two parents, or or possibly a whole household. But when these mass deportations start, it's what will cause that pendulum to swing. Let me for the visual thinkers out there, right? Okay. I want you to think about it. Remember when George Bush was in office, right? And we went into Iraq and we went into these different places, for no reason, right? And we said, man, we can't wait to get George Bush out of here. That pendulum swung, right? And then we elected Barack Obama, right? Them folks were so mad about the fact that we elected Barack Obama that the pendulum swung far back the other way, and we elected Donald Trump. But right? Wait a minute. Hold on. Now, Donald Trump, is out. There was a grace period with Joe Biden, so to speak. But Donald Trump said he is going to deport these folks. And it's going to be some of the folks that voted for him. Yeah. And that pendulum is going to swing even wider than it swung. And it got to come back the other way. So we'll probably have a transgender president, the next president.
Damn. Somebody going to grab him by the dick.
Oh, God.
And you going to miss Donald Trump. Right. You going to miss Donald Trump when we get that other guy. But I'm going to tell you something. I do want to. It's really important that people that vote and exercise the right to vote, but don't live with a voter's attitude. Understand that the person that you put in office, he or she may be saying something that she's trying to attempt to do, but the way Congress, the way Senate, the way things are set up, they may not be able to do those things. So not only do you have to vote a person in to do something for your life, you also have to vote yourself in and do the things necessary to assist that person in office. You got to get the credit right.
You better learn civics. You better learn civics.
When people say, man, Donald Trump going to have the price of housing up, well, then it's time to sell houses. Change your hustle, change your perspective on life. If you are hurting in an area,
or own a couple houses.
If you are hurting in an area and they are benefiting in another area, what's wrong with going to the area that is plentiful? So we got to stop calling out the problems and say, look, I have to adjust my life depending on whoever in office. If real estate is selling and I'm on the other side where it's costing me more, then I have to learn to either teach myself or my children to sell real estate.
Braden.
So we got to
Let me say this too. And this irritates some of my fellow Democrats, right? But when I'm in a Republican supermajority. Right. And so when the governor sets his agenda, right, I don't necessarily agree with everything that the governor sets in his agenda.
Oh, come on.
But what I do look for is the opportunities for my people.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Watch this.
Right. And so where there's an opportunity for my people, right, I'm finna try to stick my arm in there and get a piece of the pie for my people.
Right.
Because and here's and this is just a sad fact and sad commentary. When you're operating in a supermajority, you don't get, it's hard to get those wins for your people. It's hard being a legislator, period. Right. And but you have to listen to their agenda, find those areas. Like, say, for instance, if the governor says, I'm going to put in, $50 million for small businesses, right? Oh, okay, great. I know small business to you is a motherfucker with about 1,000 employees. But a small business to me is the Tamika's the Institute of Beauty, natural hair salon. Natural hair school, right? Or these folks. So what I'm going to do is, since you're doing small businesses, let's make sure that we cover the micros in that small business definition too.
The problem is sometimes the micro businesses are in such competition, they won't get together. If you need a business to have 1,000 people, if I got 250, you got 250, you got 2, we gonna come together, call it one thing, and we all gonna go get this.
But because we think that your 250 is gonna get more than my 250,
we have a problem.
I can't do that with you.
Because,
and I'd rather implode the whole damn thing because I think your 250 is gonna get more than my 250.
I tell young kids I talk to all the time. Everybody with your skin tone is born into slavery. No matter if you have to pick cotton, no matter if you physically getting whooped, you have to buy yourself. You have to buy yourself out of the slavery you're born into. There is no such thing as free slavery.
You got to buy yourself out of
buy yourself out. So anybody that you see living somewhat of a free life, doing some of the things they want to do, they finance their way out of that. Now, if you don't have no money, how you gonna save no money? If you just got a little bit of money, you have to invest what you have. You can invest your way out of hole. But if you're making $1 a day, you know how long it take you to stack $1,000? But if you take $2 and buy a drink and say they drink for $3, then you keep flipping your way. You can invest your way out that hole.
So
I got to teach young men how to use what they have. See, everybody has the ability to be rich. We've been lied to and told what rich is. Rich is the ability to do whatever that you want to do sometime. Everybody has the amount of money it takes to be financially rich. But the problem is they give you bills, they give you the new car, they give you the Fendi, they get you the Gucci. So you got your business in your closet. It's a lot of times we look beautiful on level 1 instead of struggling to get to level 3 because we won't finance our way out the hole. We want to look good on level 1.
I want to talk about, what we looking like, Nichelle? How many? 3. Good. Okay. Yeah. I wanna real quick. Give us the quick version. Young kids hanging out over there at your business location.
Right.
You went to the store. Tell
this
that story.
This is the thing about me. I never let people stand outside and ask for money. That means you need money, then we can talk about how you can get some money, but begging for money is not the way to do it.
Right.
What you can do
Who was begging for money?
Young men. So I got a group of young men that I see on the corner, and they out, let's say they selling drinks, but they doing it in an inefficient way.
Tell the whole story about the store, the store owner and all of those.
Was what may be afraid to tell those young men they can't stand in front of his property. But anytime people stand in front of your business, they're blocking new people, new customers, new revenue. But if you want to stand there, then you have to do a job. Let me buy you a security shirt. I'll pay you to do security, but you can't beg for no money. We can make a way to make some money, but we have to be thinking. Like, see, I took the young men that was standing in front of the store. I bought them 17 cases of water, and I just moved them down the street on the corner. If you go by James,
Coleman and James,
you'll see young men selling water because I took them from standing in front of the store begging. I sold them an avenue where y'all can make some money. Let me give you some water. And y'all can go right down the street and sell water. But now we're going to take it a step farther. I'm going to get them some T-shirts that may say Water Squad or Water and I'm going to make it look more proficient. I'm going to teach them how to turn that into a business. Because anytime there's a need, there's always a way to make that need profitable.
Right.
You can do anything you've been doing. You just got to do it the right way.
And that's to the point, because Trump is coming in. We can't lament. We ain't got time to lament. No, we had to find the opportunities.
Can I give a story? This happened in my neighborhood. My neighbor, he went federal. He went to federal prison for a long time. Not sure where he went, but now he owns a trucking company. The house got broken into, and everything has a tracker on it. If you steal an iPad,
it's following you.
Yeah, it's following you. So I don't know why these kids don't know that, but somebody,
they know it.
Yeah, he stole it. They called the police, but he ended up tracking himself. So he said, y'all got me messed up. He went to the house, like, knock, 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 knock. Yeah. The little boy said, no, it's not me or whatever. It was somebody else. Ain't nobody here. He said, okay. So he ended up coming to the house without the police. He said, like, hey, I know my stuff up in here. you know, whatever. And he said, I hate to, threaten him. And he said, well, hold on, let me go see what I can do. So he brought it back, and the man said, well, you know what? You out here doing this, you're gonna mess around and lose your life. Somebody gonna shoot you, whatever.
Right.
He said, you want to make some money? He gave him an opportunity. He enrolled him in his trucking school. I thought that was so amazing. The police called back. He said, no, we fine. I don't want to press no. He said, oh no, I found it. I want to press charges. And now he in trucking school. That happened like 2 weeks ago. It just needed an opportunity, but it takes people to have grace and be able to teach, have those teachable moments where and everybody don't get that.
I do want to say this about Trump right fast. Don't fear Trump at all. It should cause us to think more. It should cause us to be together more. It should cause us the greater the adversary, the greater you have to be. So you shouldn't be afraid of a great adversary. It's just time to get greater than the adversary that you're facing. Let's do something together. Let's get these kids together. Let's be better fathers. Let's support our women. Let's do the things that we need to do, because the people on Trump's side, they're having meetings for sure.
Hey man, and I want to end this segment on that. And but when we come back, we're going to talk about what one of my very few concerns about this change in the presidency is, and that is the qualified immunity for police officers in killing unarmed black people, right? And so don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
It wasn't me and you together, supposed to be forever. Plus we were lit together, pop out matching Gucci sweater. It wasn't thinking, telling, know when they see us, they jelly. I took you through some, but you still got me through whatever. I can't answer why you won't leave. You think he better than me? No, I kept it too screen. Can't find no better than me. Mama told me, say what I love. My bro say, let her just be. I can't keep going back and forth. I should just let her go free. Cause if you stay, then go on and on and on. Trying to tell me I'm wrong, cause I did not make it home.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, this your boy, Pimp Type, MJG.
Yeah, man, and this your dog, Big Ball.
Y'all know what this is. This the Antonio Parkinson Project. You hear me?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's go, baby.
What numbers?
Yeah. I got my lovely co-host Angelika Geli Woods in the building. Yeah, man.
I'm keeping them on track in here.
Man,
on track.
I'm telling you, man. Look, she's leaning and shit. Hey, DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak, don't scratch it up. Don't scratch it up. Because we got too much to cover. And
Let's
give it
do
up
it.
for my guy. That's my guy.
Come on.
It's the wonderful, the bodacious, the courageous. It's the good Reverend Dr. Earl Fisher in the building. Yeah, man.
We got him.
Hey, Reverend Earl.
How long we've been doing this?
Man, they don't know how long, man. Reverend Earl, what's the word of the day, man? Give us a word we will not be able to know what the definition is. Come on.
Well, no, I'm not going to do nothing superfluous like that.
Superfluous. Right. Yeah, don't do anything superfluous. Right.
Like that.
Man, this is my guy, man. Look, I'm going to tell you something, man. Man, we go way back. I think the world of him, man. He is a wonderful, wonderful brother. I fuck with him a long way, and
Pause.
so yeah. Oh yeah.
No Diddy.
Yeah. No Diddy. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Now you didn't say yo Diddy. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Okay. Man, but look, let's jump right in, man, because I want to cover as much as I can cover, man. First of all, thank you again for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
We
man.
truly
I'm glad to be
appreciate
here.
you being
Salute
on.
to all that you've been able to do, man, over the 10+ years we've been rocking, man.
Yeah, man. Because I wasn't even elected. Was I elected
you
back
weren't
then?
elected when we first started rocking.
I think yes, I was. Yes, I was.
You
yes, I
were?
was.
Can I tell you?
No, you can't.
No, you can't. You're being honcho.
You're being honcho, right?
He think you know everything.
Because if I was I lieutenant on the fire department then?
Yeah,
no,
I think you
I
were.
was. Well, then I was elected then.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I remember when you ran your first campaign, bro. Yeah, because we were rocking when you first started the marketing stuff. You were having some community kind of conversations.
The block party,
panels and stuff.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff, man. So it was before. It wasn't long after we started rocking that.
How long you been in Memphis now?
I've been in Memphis 25 years now.
25 years.
Yeah, I got here in 99.
So yeah,
Ben Harbor, Michigan.
Yeah. And I don't know why I was thinking of Chicago, but I know you were
Ben
going
Harbor
back to
is 90 miles east of Chicago.
Yeah, man. And I'm a transplant too, man. This is what transplants do when they come to Memphis. You're a transplant too. That's right. Right.
I'm up in here with all these transplants.
In the last segment, man, shout out to Marlo. Marlo did a great job in the last two segments, man. Post-election, a lot of people are dealing with post-election trauma.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Seriously. And, seriously. People, I think, coming out of these elections, I think people should, if they feel that need, they should get counseling seriously.
Yes.
Because one, you come into a dead stop, right? After just being conditioned for over a year, with,
bombarded with all this information.
Man, bombarded with information. Secondly, if your person did not win after your hopes were extremely elevated, right, and then you get this hard drop, right, seriously, and I mean this, and I don't want to sound weird, but get the counseling.
Yeah,
get the counseling.
I support that absolutely, man. I got correspondence from a sister who I know who said her uncle, who is 90, got word of the election results. Having dealt with the stroke recently. But 90-year-old guy, man, don't even want to come out of the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of dark and all of that. And so they was asking me to support them through prayer and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, this is why I think we got to be very delicate in how we handle some of this stuff. And I think sometimes we talk way too flippant or careless about this stuff. Like it don't have real life consequences.
Yeah. Somebody's dealing with something.
Yeah. And not just that, I mean, I think, the masses are dealing with some stuff, right? So, even in the previous segment, Marlo Stansfield, as I call him, Marlo was talking a lot about the idea of people being afraid of Trump and all of this type stuff. And I don't think that's necessarily it. I think people understand the magnitude of what happens with the masses when you have poor leadership. I mean, you've seen this, at the State House.
Yeah.
If you got inadequate leadership, this doesn't just affect, it ain't about what just happens to me. I did hear Marlo say that too, so salute them for saying this ain't just about how it affects me. I'm thinking I voted in a way that represents, the people who I'm in relationship with, that sort of thing. But you and I both know, man, it matters who's in office. Elections have consequences.
They absolutely.
And so the reverberation of that frustration and that anxiety and that anger or that lament and that depression.
You building up, man, on them words, man. I'm watching you, man. I'm watching you closely.
They could always rewind, press play.
Right.
They can always rewind, press play.
You're building up, right?
Yeah,
the reverberation,
that's right. I'm trying to slow walk
and the lamentation.
Bro, I used to be slow too.
Right.
Be slow too.
But I'm just calling out the build up.
Come back to 8th
Right.
grade.
I'm calling out the build up, right? Yeah. See, he's working himself up. He's working himself into a big word frenzy.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
I'm just trying to calm you down a little bit. But go ahead.
Thank you for reeling me in.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I know your audience ain't.
Oh shit!
No, what I'm about to say is I know your audience ain't slow like you. You make it seem like dumbing down for them, but really it's like don't take off and leave you.
And let me tell you why. Because I love to surround myself with people that are smarter than me.
You supposed to.
How about that? Yeah.
But bottom line, man, this stuff has real life consequences. Elections have consequences. Policies have consequences, and they impact a lot of people. And I think people know the difference between careful leadership, compassionate leadership, and careless leadership.
What is your? Let me tell you what my biggest concern is about, Trump being the president-elect and going into the Oval Office again. I got two. One. So one is qualified immunity.
Yep.
With the police department. Because I think it becomes easier. And again, even a more robust open season on on black, unarmed, individuals, and not just with the police. So I and let me be clear, I mess with my police department, Memphis Police Department, tough. These are my people because in Memphis, it's your friends, it's your aunties, it's cousins. These are our folks, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But you got those outliers. That, may be having a bad day, should not be a police officer at all. And, and then we end up with, and then you got us, right? Individuals, that are out here, wilding and crash outs and, and they end up in killed by police officers. That's one of my concerns, right? My other concern is, I'm a Marine, right? Right. I've been part of, campaigns for this country, right? I've served this country, and the coziness with Russia and Vladimir Putin and how Trump is on Vladimir's dick. and idolizes him, right? I know TikTok, y'all.
One more word.
Give us grace, TikTok.
I think you're making a good point now, though, because part of what y'all talked about in the first segment that I think should be amplified is the double standard of it all, and how Van Jones said that
before tears or post tears,
either one. Take your pick.
Man,
I mean, right?
Man,
so take this with a grain of salt. But what he said was, Trump gets to be lawless and Kamala has to be flawless.
Right?
Right. And so he can use whatever he wants to use. He could take the scriptures out of context. He could do all of the things that you ran off in the first segment, right? And still get supported, in part because our misunderstanding of religion and our commitment to religiosity makes some of us posture as conservatives. But really what we need policy-wise is progressivism.
No, man, you know what? You're getting a ding for every 3+ syllable word that you give us, right? You're going to get a ding. Right? There was about 4 dings in
I'll put my cash app out there for you.
Come on, man. Yeah, send a cash app. But look, let me ask you this, because I want to jump into the meat of this. Look, Reverend, good Reverend Doctor, Moses led,
this nigga did exactly what I just said. Don't do it.
Yeah, he going to. That's what he did.
Y'all gonna let me do? Y'all, what's this? A euphemism? Okay. Y'all see. Look, I'm right. Thank you. I get a ding. Right. So Moses led the Israelites out of bondage, but to the promised land. Right.
Well, no,
but he didn't make it.
Right.
But he didn't make it.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this: are black people in the political wilderness right now?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Well, I guess in a sense, we definitely ain't in nobody's promised land. Part of the thing that comes to mind for me, since you keep evoking this passage, is that people would say to Moses, it was better for us when we was in Egypt.
Yeah.
They
did.
It's like y'all forgot y'all was enslaved, right?
Yeah.
And think about it. Many people spent the last several months talking about we ain't going back, we ain't going back, we ain't going back, and look at where we are.
Yeah.
Right. And
further back, actually.
I was about to say, and not just that, because how many people said, man, if I was alive in the civil rights movement, I'd blah, blah. Well, you got your chance. You got your chance
right now.
Here we are. And you and I know we've been here for a minute.
Right.
But many of us have been in denial about that. And so what I think is important right now is for us to probably step up our political intelligence. You were talking a minute ago about people need to take civics, right? I mean, we find people getting a whole lot of backlash because they simply don't know how the system works. How many people cussed you out about something that the mayor should have been doing?
Come on, man. Oh, man.
And here's why I am frustrated. We seem to be in a place where people care more about being right than what the truth is.
Oh, damn, that's the theme of the show today.
Yeah. People just want to be perceived as right. Right. It don't matter what the truth is.
It don't matter.
People are choosing feelings over facts. And if you think about it, you and I know some of the numbers related to what the economy is really like. Matter of fact, the New York Times posted something about a week ago saying whoever wins this election is going to inherit a great economy.
But let me qualify why I was asking that question, because I looked at 45% of Hispanics voted for Trump, right? The evangelicals voted for Trump, right? The black folks you remember there was this whole teeter-totter, right? Should we, go over there with Trump? Black males, right? Black and even black females now too, because it's not. We had Dr. Tanya Lyons.
8% of black women voted for Trump this time.
But still, why, right? And so, but look, let me ask you this. I'm going to jump a segment, but let's talk about, and I think I'm coining this phrase.
Trademark.
I need to trademark it. So my trademark application is pending. So now, gender hierarchy. Right. Think about that. Gender hierarchy, right? So let's talk about gender hierarchy. In my perception of what gender hierarchy is right now in the U.S. is white males, white females, then who? And
it's always
jump in there.
Oh
yeah.
But press pause, because what you did was not just gender hierarchy, because gender is only concerned about the male or the female or the transgender. You added race to it, which I think is important, because some of the gender wars, especially in our community, have been manufactured in ways that divide us and keep us divided for a reason, right? what we tend to do is pivot off of, like, even if we just start talking about, here's how black men voted for Kamala. 80% of us did, right? Here's how black women voted for Kamala. 90% of us did. Now, you tell me in what sport you could be shooting 80 or 90% from the field, and people say you the reason we lost.
Yeah, right. Come on now. Now let's talk about
somebody though.
Right, but it's an advancement of, so it's not so much gender hierarchy, but the racism in it is what amplifies the division, and it forces us to move off of who the main target should be. Right, 45% is still less than a majority.
It is.
But now let's start talking about white men. How many of them voted for Trump? Right. Let's start talking about white women.
Right.
How many of them voted for Trump? Right.
Right.
And so the idea that what we should do is focus on this slight margin of movement, and it matters, especially in the raw numbers, right? Because when you start talking about 3% or 4%, then that can mean 1 million people or something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nationally.
Right.
But ultimately, if that's how we gonna do our nitpicking, then everybody's to blame.
Well, let me ask you this though. But speaking of gender hierarchy, which I've trademarked, my application is pending. If I say it is, it is. Now,
good luck.
Now, gender hierarchy. Now, so you got white males. If white males were wiped off the earth, who would be next up in gender hierarchy? White females, I would assume.
In the situation you
right now, then you got white females, right? Then if white females were wiped off the earth, who would be next, right? Would it
the general consensus would be black men.
Well, no. Well, let's talk about that though. I know and that's the point I'm trying to get to.
I know what you're setting up.
Right. You know what I'm setting up, right? Okay. So has the black male been pitted against the black female?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
And because the gripe of the black male has been that they were that they were not going to vote for Kamala Harris, and this could have been created or made up, you know. But how many? What was the percentage of black males that voted for Kamala Harris? Do we know? 80%. That's a huge. Right. So it could have been made up. But let's go to this video. We got a video. Nichelle, you see that video over there?
It seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land, and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are.
All right, so in that clip, you know, we heard from President Obama, you know, and it was a bit of a, to me, you know, and let me tell you how I perceived it, a bit of a scolding of black males, you know, in this, you know, messaging that came out that said black males were not supportive of Kamala Harris. And that's how I perceived it as a black male. And other black males responded to, you know, reached out to me and said, basically, you know, President Obama got him messed up, right? You know,
but Obama didn't say nothing that you hadn't said before.
Very, very true.
So some of it is the messenger, right? And I get this because me and Marlo was just chatting back and forth
I don't think it's the messenger. I think it's the person. And let me tell you why I said that. Go ahead.
And I think we might be saying the same thing because you're saying the person.
I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah, right. So Marlo and I were just kind of chatting back and forth about what's happening internally amongst us as a community. And so this idea that people in different classes get perceived differently and look at different people within the same race or same ethnic group or same neighborhood differently based upon their socioeconomic class. So part of the reason Obama is getting the backlash that he's getting and I ain't saying that people are wrong by saying this, is because he's not seen as embedded within the community that he was talking about negatively, right?
Yeah.
Like, but if you said, then they like, well, he closer to us, right, in proximity.
Yeah.
He might be even closer to us economically. I ain't gonna tell everybody all the money you got, dog. You know,
please don't. It won't take long. Go ahead.
Right. So him saying that, this is where we get back into substance versus style. What was wrong with what he said? What he said was categorically true. This same thing Marlo just said. There's a whole lot of black men that are saying they cannot vote for a woman because whether it's their religious leanings or something that they want to associate with.
I ain't heard that one yet. But
you know, biblically they was part of this whole notion
but it goes back to the hierarchy.
I was just about to say
the gender hierarchy that I trademarked.
And that is people borrowing from their interpretation of scriptural references about how the family is supposed to be structured. Who's supposed to be the head of the house?
So let me ask this. Let me ask this. Now, are black males benefiting from the gender hierarchy that exists for white males, and are they utilizing that tool against black females?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Let me ask it this way. Can name me the black man that could have said and done what Trump said and done and still gotten what Trump got?
Be alive.
We'll be alive, but not be dead.
Okay, so that answers your question.
But no.
Because the question you're asking, if I'm hearing you correct, is if black men are benefiting from this hierarchy related to white men, right? And I'm saying, here's one way you can measure it. If black men are benefiting from what white men are doing, then black men should be able to do exactly what white men do and reap the benefits and the privilege.
So let me rephrase.
And the reason all of us know that they cannot is because no, they're not.
Well, let me
set up that way. No matter what, it would never. No matter what you do, that would never be the case.
What we about
it's
to
not
do,
set
Angela.
up. I'm about to go somewhere else.
No. I'm saying what we about to do is pivot off of exactly what you're saying, and because we got to go back to trying to do some kind of scapegoating. And I ain't saying Touche is intending to do this, right? The culprits here are not black men.
Yeah.
The culprits here are not black women.
Don't forget where you're going.
Okay.
So let me clarify my question better.
All right.
Was the pushback against Kamala Harris based on black men, trying to tap into rather that male hierarchy that white men have?
Yeah, so I'm sure that some percentage of the people who voted for Trump fall in that category.
Right.
I don't want to speculate on what the percentage is. I'm inclined to believe the percentage is not all that high, right? It's definitely people who have that kind of ideology and mentality. And we've heard it. Like if you've been listening to people in the community, there are all kinds of snippets and sound bites of people saying these types of things. I was listening to a podcast earlier, right? That was referencing something like this from a research-based standpoint. People having conversation with black men in barbershops, Marlo, go figure, right? And in the barbershops, they were saying stuff like they didn't think that a woman would be fit to lead, or they couldn't trust, they don't know if she would be tough enough, all these other things. And I think that is black men tapping into some of that. But again, if 80% of us, Touche,
still voted,
then what the hell are we talking about?
Focus on the wrong thing.
Right. And every time, Angelica, this is why I just said, here's what we are conditioned to do. Every time we target who the culprit actually is, we're conditioned to say, no, but we're doing this to ourselves.
So was the Harris campaign sent down a rabbit hole that they chased, and there was something else going on the outside?
Here's the catch-22.
Because 80%
for not just the Harris campaign, but for basically anybody running on the left. You've experienced some of this. So I heard somebody say, the benefit of running for the Republican Party is that you only have to give people one or two things, and people say, you gave me something, I'm with you. If you running in the Democratic Party on the left, they want you to give them everything, or else they voting against you. And then they're gonna say, you can give them 8 out of 10 things. So it's a kind of like bratty kind of
still not good enough,
politically immature posture. And we're suffering from it. So a lot of people wasn't voting, and I was thinking about this when Marlo was talking earlier. A lot of people wasn't voting about politics. A lot of people wasn't voting about power. A lot of people were voting to punish somebody.
Yeah.
We gonna punish the Democratic Party because you promised us 10 things and only gave us 5 or 6. Now here's what you and I know, Touche. Name me the time other than the 2 years Obama had from 2008 to 2010 where there was a supermajority in the Democratic Party with any formulation of a black agenda.
Right.
Tell me why people call Mitch McConnell the Grim Reaper. They say that's where good bills go to die. The question would be, who writing these good bills?
But that's the understanding of civics. But let me pivot let me pivot just a second.
Okay.
Is the rainbow flag the Achilles heel of the Democratic Party?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
No, white supremacy is the Achilles heel of the Democratic Party in all of the manifestations, in all of the manifestations that show up. One of the ways to compare that is this: you ever seen a like meme or something like that's going around, and it's like a cookie jar, and there's like one cookie left in the cookie jar. It's a white guy right here with like 10 cookies, and then it's a Mexican, it's a LGBTQIA person, it's a black person, and then the white guy saying to them, "Look, they finna take your cookie." You got 10 of them, right? But this is what we're doing. It's the bait and switch. So no, it's not maybe it's the American flag that's the issue, not the rainbow flag.
Come on now. Oh man, we clipping that. But let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. And to your point, a lot of the black males that were saying they were not going to vote for Kamala Harris were saying it was based on that commercial that was ran saying transgender people are going to get, the sex change operation, in prison based on taxpayer dollars.
I think a lot of black males did too, based on even back to what Marlo said about her Trump having a image preceding him before he took whatever he'd be trying to run for president. Kamala had that bad thing as the prosecutor attorney where she locked up black men for a long. I'm saying a lot of black men held on to that narrative. I read the comments.
D.L. Hughley said he did until he Googled.
Weed charges. And that's what a lot of black men held on. She was locking up black men for weed charges. And they did 20 years.
So I'm saying again, this is where people are more concerned about being perceived as right than what they are concerned about their commitment to the truth. They don't care what's true. As a matter of fact, a lot of us have been conditioned to double down on the lies when they are exposed because you don't want to have to admit, man, I was wrong. That's what DL did, though, right? DL was like, yo, I bought all of that stuff about Vice President Harris, and then she called me into a room and simply said, hey, look this up.
Let me bring this back local. I just a quick anecdotal story.
I feel my help coming about now.
Right. I remember AC Wharton coming to me, right, saying, Touche, I need your help, man. I've got this election going on. I'm trying to do my best AC Wharton impression. Shout out to AC Wharton.
But we got
okay, right. He had his hand like this though.
That's cool.
Yeah. Touche. Right. Okay, so sat down, right, and I was like, okay, Mayor, remind me of the stuff you did, right? He started naming off all of these things that were great for the people, right? And I said, I thought about it. I said, dang. And I said, well, okay, here's the Achilles heel, right? The police and fire, benefits. The police department and fire department left in droves. You remember that, right? And I said, well, let me ask you this. He was running against Jim Strickland.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Right. And I said, Mayor Wharton, I said, so you proposed this budget that would restructure the police and fire benefits, right? And that made the police and fire leave, right? I said, who approved that budget? He said, well, the city council. I said, who was the chair of the city council?
No, the chair of the finance committee.
Chair of the finance committee. I thought he was chair of the council.
Was he chair of the council?
Yeah.
He might be.
I said, who was chair of the council? He said, Jim Strickland.
Okay.
I said, so wait a minute. So wait a minute. So here's the thing. So let me get this right. So you proposed the budget. You couldn't approve it.
Right.
But the council approved it, and your opponent was the chair of the council. So both of y'all are in the same muck and dirt, mud, right? But you got the blame.
You got the blame.
I said,
Strickland ran on that.
And he ran on it and he won. And I said, so you have a problem with messaging. Yeah. And that's what this boils down to in a lot of cases, right? Politics, man, you do your homework, make sure that you are not just jumping on the bandwagon black folks. Right, because that's what our people tend to do, right? And
that's what all people tend to do, not just our people.
Not all people.
Our people are suffering from it disproportionately.
Absolutely.
We're getting the shortest end of the stick. But look, You mean to tell me these white folks going for Trump ain't been jumping on the bandwagon? That's exactly what they've been doing.
Because they can't even tell you what a policy they
right. Man, he ain't got policies, he got concepts. Remember?
Right. Got concepts.
Because if you ask somebody right now, he got
racist balls.
Well, there you go with them balls again, Angelika and the balls.
He going.
I don't know what her fixation with balls is, but go ahead.
I don't know. You see me trying to move on.
I do. It ain't working.
So he said.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
He said he gonna deport 11 million people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He can't nobody tell you how.
Right.
He said last time he was gonna build a wall and make Mexico pay for it.
Right.
Never happened.
I wish he'd build one at State Line Road, but go ahead though.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, the point is, all of us are being duped by that.
Right.
All of us are bandwagon jumpers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say black folks are the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying we are getting the shortest end of the stick because we don't have a white privilege to fall back on.
Right. Yeah. Man, y'all give it up for Earl Fisher, Reverend Earl Fisher, man. But look, y'all, make sure that you lock in and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Because you're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the market. And so we'll be right back. I think we're coming back next week sometime. Tuesday. Yeah, we got a special holiday schedule, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be back Tuesday with our next show. So y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, join us again, and I hope you enjoyed it. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Powered by Black Market Strategies.